Hey guys, it's Lefforge. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you are here today. What I'm going to show you guys how to do today is to make a Christmas bow to go on all of your packages. Now, of course, you can go to the drugstore and you can buy a bow that looks like this, right? They're readily available. You can just stick it on the package, but they don't really stick that well. They're kind of tacky. They're bad for the environment. They're hard to reuse. They're just not very pretty, right? So I started working for a large storage and organization store a few years ago. I don't work for them any longer, but one of the many skills I took away from my time at that store was how to make beautiful bows. And as someone who isn't a crafter, I was amazed how simple it was to make beautiful bows. So today I'm going to share it with you guys. First thing you need to know is that you need to have the right supplies. So the bow we're going to be making today is going to look just like this one. I made this last night. This is one of the first Christmas gifts I've wrapped. This is for my husband, so shh, don't tell him. But we're going to make a bow that looks very much like that one today. Supplies are very important. To make a bow like that, you really are going to want to use wired ribbon. Now, what I typically do is I buy a less expensive coordinating ribbon, and that's what I'll use to wrap around the outside of the gift, because you don't need the expensive wired ribbon for that, right? And then I buy, typically at Costco, which is a great place to get it, my wired ribbon. Now, if you buy it at Sam's Club or Costco, I would go now because they do start to get sold out. So you want to make sure that you get the good colors. But this is a really beautiful one because it's got green on one side and red on the other. And it really will go with any of the wrapping paper that I bought. The other thing you'll need for this project is some of this wired twine right here. It's kind of like the stuff that you use to tie, you know, like a twist tie for a bread bag, which you can actually recycle those for this project. So if you save those, this is a great use for those. But this comes on a spool. I bought this at the Container Store. You can easily get it online. We're going to use some of this and just a really small amount. In fact, I'll go ahead and cut the size we'll need for that. So you just need a piece of that. You need a good pair of scissors. Now, before gift wrap season, it is always my recommendation that you buy a couple new pairs of scissors, one to cut wire ribbon and things like that, twine, and one to cut paper. You do want different scissors for each task because the paper scissors need to be just for paper or they will get dulled and they won't slice through that paper like butter like you want it to. So make sure you get a good pair of scissors. And then because I'm not very good at eyeballing things, I also always use a ruler because I like to make sure that I have the right amount for my bow. The bow that we're going to make, we're going to need a ruler that measures 6 inches. So that's why I have this out in front of us as well. So, and you might want to have some Christmas carols on in the background. And if you live in Georgia like I do, it's a perfect day to do this because it's kind of raining outside the window and it's really pretty. So we're going to start with cutting our ribbon. Now you're going to want 3 yards of fabric for every bow that you make. So you could measure out a yard. I don't have anything that measures a yard. So this is kind of an old, I don't know if your mom taught you how to do this, but right there, that is approximately a yard. So from your nose to the end of your hand. Obviously, everybody's yard might be a little bit different in this case scenario, but it's close enough. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 yards of ribbon, okay? Now this spool that I'm working with is about 50 yards, so you can make quite a few bows with this one large roll from Costco. All right, so now we have our ribbon. Now this is where we're going to measure the 6 inches, okay? So I'm gonna need to put my glasses on and we're gonna go right to 6 inches on our ruler, okay, which is right there. And we're gonna go like that. And then you're just gonna start doubling it over itself, if that makes sense. We're just gonna go just like so. We're just gonna make a loop and we're just gonna double this puppy over itself. One of the things I love about making these bows is you can reuse them. So at the end of Christmas morning, I will be scurrying around to make sure that I pick up all the bows because especially since you're using the wired ribbon, it's really easy to just fluff it back out again and reuse them, which makes them much better for the environment than that other bag of bows, these kind that, I don't like those. I mean, hear me, present is a present. So if you give me a present with that, I'm not gonna complain, but okay. So now we have something that looks a little bit like this, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna double that over. Now this is where having your good pair of scissors really comes in handy. Just gonna double that over like this. And what I'm gonna do is cut a little bikini on the bottom, bikini bottom. Which reminds me of SpongeBob, who lives in a pineapple under the sea. Okay, so now we're gonna cut, you see what I'm doing? We're gonna cut a little bikini bottom. So just a little diagonal cut there. Come on, ribbon, there we go. And a little diagonal cut there. I'm gonna show you what I did in just a second. Okay, there we go. So see how it looks like a little bikini bottom? Because you've got just a V and a V, okay? So now you're gonna open it up. Now it's important that if you're working alone that you've already cut your little piece of twine, because now you only have one hand. And you have a little piece that looks like this, okay? So it looks like a little bow tie. So we're gonna take this, and what you're gonna do is you're going to wrap it around the center, just like so. So just like a little bread tie. Wanna make sure it's nice and tight. Wrap that around the center. Okay, so here we go, there's our little bow tie. So this is when the fun part starts. You're gonna start in the middle, okay? And you're gonna pull out each of these little loops that you've made, and you're gonna pull one loop forward and one loop back, okay? So we're gonna go, and don't, just play with it, because what you'll see when we put it on the package, you're gonna fluff it out even more, and that's why the wired ribbon is so important for this. You can do it with the regular ribbon, and I have. It's okay. Obviously, it comes out much nicer if you use the wired ribbon. So I'm coming forward and back with each of my loops. So forward. So there's one side done, right? Now I'm gonna go to the other side. Okay, see? And you're gonna pull that out. You're gonna pull one forward and one back. Those of you that are perfectionists, remember, this is not an exact science. This is something done with love. And sometimes they come out, some of my bows come out better than others. And then forward and back. So you're gonna wind up with something that looks like this. Now you're going, that doesn't look like the bow that she made. No, it doesn't. So I'm gonna flip this package on its side so I can show you what the next step is. So what you would have done is gone ahead and just tied off a piece of ribbon around the package like this so you have something to attach it to, right? And you're gonna take your little ends from your twist tie. Where's my other end? There he is. He's hiding. Come out. Okay, so you've got your two ends from your twist tie right here, and you're gonna use those to attach your ribbon to the package. Now you could easily, if you didn't want to wrap ribbon around, you could tape it. I like to do it this way. I think this way makes it the easiest to futz with it once it's on the package. So now it looks like this. And if you're me and you first started, you're going, oh, it didn't come out like Jennifer's. I don't like it. Well, guess what? You're so not done yet. So we're gonna add the little tail to it in just a second, but what you're gonna do is, the technical term is futz. You're gonna futz with this. So you're gonna take all these different layers and we're just gonna pull them out, okay? You're just gonna kind of mess with it until you're happy with the way that they look, knowing that, again, like we talked about, this is all about doing things for people that you love, and they love you and you love them, and this is how you're showing them that. Or maybe it's for somebody at work that's a Secret Santa gift. And you know, they always have those budgets on Secret Santa gifts that bug me, because I'm always like, I want to spend more money on people. Well, if you wrap it beautifully, that's one way to show love. And in my view, you don't have to count the money you spent on the wrapping toward the Secret Santa gift. Okay. So I'm gonna futz with that a little bit more. I'm kind of bad about the futzing. I will futz forever until I'm really, really happy with the way that it looks. So for this purpose, that's as much. One more. Should insert some music here. Okay, that's all the futzing that I'm gonna do. One more, pull that one out. Oh, look how pretty. Am I happy with that? Oh, I am happy with that. Look how pretty he looks. Okay. So now, This is the beautiful bow that we have on the top of our package. So beautiful, homemade, so pretty. Probably could futz with him a little more, but I won't because this is a video and we don't want to be here all day. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is add my little tail. So I'm going to take, it doesn't need to be too long. Again, we want to make sure we get as many bows out of this ribbon as we possibly can. So I'm just going to cut about that much. I'm just going to bring that around to make my little tail for my little present here. Tuck that under. I literally just tucked that around and under. But now if you want to do those cute little dovetails on the end with your ribbon, just take your ribbon, fold it in half like that, come up from the bottom, here we go, and just cut a V. And you get these cute little dovetails. Take your ribbon, cut it, do just like that, come up and over. Don't cut your hand off, that's important. And then you get these cute little dovetails, and there you go. There is our very pretty homemade bow. It didn't take me hardly any time at all. It came out beautifully. It's a good value, and I hope that you will not be intimidated by the bow making process, because it really is the simplest thing in the world. This is the technique that I use. I will sit in front of a movie and make, 20 or 30 bows before we even get started. So once we really get into gift wrap season, I can get those things wrapped and those bows put on those packages, and I will have dozens of beautifully wrapped gifts under my tree, dozens of beautifully wrapped gifts to take to my friends and family, and I'm always very proud of the presents that I present. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and hit that little bell notification. Throughout the holidays, I will be doing a few more DIYs than normal because, again, I'm not crafty. This is like my only skill, this and gift wrap. So also, if you guys want to see a video on how to wrap a gift, please let me know that in the comments below. I'm glad you joined me today. I hope you have a great day. I hope you're planning for a beautiful holiday celebration, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.